And then this package right here is from cutleryshop.com. And these are two knives I've wanted for a long time. And one of them I believe is discontinued, if I'm not mistaken. And the other one is not discontinued, but they had it for a really great price. And it's something that I've drooled over. I've seen a lot of other folks on YouTube have one in their collection, and I've just always wanted to try it. So let's get right in there. That comes wrapped up in this fancy paper packaging, just like an old-timey package. Let's see what we got there. Throw that out of the way. Got their business card. And as you can see, it is two Spydercos. I know the suspense is killing you. Which two did he order? Move all that other stuff out of the frame. And let's take a look at this first one. If I can get it to focus in there. Mannix 2 Blue Plain Edge. This is indeed the blue lightweight Mannix 2. This is my first time ever holding or trying a Spyderco Mannix. And the reason that I went with this model is because I always thought that the G10 model looked a little big and chunky and hefty. For such, you know, it is a really broad and wide blade, and immediately that's the first thing that comes to mind is how wide this is. Really large opening hole on the blade, and but I do like. Look how thin that is. That's great. Let me put the, just for comparison, let me put the Rat one there side by side. You can see that's definitely thinner than the Rat. And very lightweight. I think this is under 3 ounces, and it's obviously got quite a large blade for that light size. That is beautiful. Great lockup in all directions. And you can see this one is pinned construction. And there are some models of this. I believe there's actually this, you know, may not be the newest version of this, but there is a newer one where this pivot is a screw instead of a pin. This one is pinned. Considering I can't take the entire body apart of this knife, I'm not really worried about whether or not the pivot has a screw. It's got good tension on it, you know, just as is. This is my first time trying the, I think this is the ball cage lock, which is kind of similar to my Dodo, but this one has this little plastic piece that goes around it. That kind of acts as the, kind of like an access lock on a Benchmade knife, so you can actually flick that open and close using just the lock itself. That's kind of fun. And it does have a wire clip, which also makes it really light. So beautiful construction. I love that glowing translucent blue. It's just so vibrant. So a couple of really bright knives I'm delighted to have in my collection. And then this uses CTS BD1 steel from I forget their name, Carpenter something something. Someone's going to yell at me about that in the comments, but from Carpenter Steel. This is BD1, which is also what my latest Spyderco UK PK uses. So wow, really light. It's blade heavy, I'll tell you that right away. And again, this is one I'm going to carry for some time and come back with a review. It's probably going to take me a while to get reviews on all these, obviously, because I have so many new knives coming in, but rest assured it will come at some point. I love the feel of this immediately. If this is comfortable to carry, this I can tell is going to become a classic for me right away. And I know I'm running out a little bit long here, as I always do, so I'm going to move on to this last knife here. And without further ado, this is the Jason Breeden Rescue Plain Edge as well. And this is a knife that I've always loved the design of, and I always kind of thought, well, maybe I won't get it because it's so weird looking. And then this actually, like I said, I believe this is discontinued. At the end of 2012, they said, we're done making this one. And I said, you know what, I don't have any time to waste. I've just got to go and get one. So there's the centering, a little bit off to one side, but it is a liner lock knife, so not too worried about that. Beautiful G10. The G10's got this really fine texturing to it. And it almost feels a little bit finer than on the Paramilitary 2, which has really fine texturing. It's got this wonderful feeling. And we got a black pocket clip. We'll see if that stays black for long or if I end up removing that coating like I always like to do. Medium size opening hole, a little bit closer to the Endura or the Delica in size. And then there's that really unique blade shape. And if you hear that rattling in the background, that is my cat, Gray Baby. Oh, she found, of course she went and found something edible. This was in the package from Cutlery Shop. They like to, a lot of times they'll throw in a piece of candy or two into their packages that they give away. So that she found that little Tootsie Pop hiding in that paper wrapping. I must have missed it. So anyway, getting back to the blade, really interesting blade shape. I almost think they should have called this the dodo because of that. It's definitely got that kind of tropical bird beak shape to the end of it. Now, a lot of you might think that looks really ugly. I think that's absolutely beautiful. I think it's a really cool design. Big, broad, wide belly to that blade. Nice initial grinds from the factory, not bad at all. I kind of like that this has more of a utilitarian look while still being a nice big knife. So it doesn't, like a lot of knives that I tend to carry, it doesn't have that really aggressive tactical weapon appearance to it that, you know, also it draws me to a knife, but at the same time, you know, that's not really what I'm about when it comes to knives. I just like them for the utility and, you know, just for their looks. I think some knives are really beautiful. This one is definitely a looker in my case. Some of you are probably saying that looks hideous, but I really like it. My immediate reaction, super comfortable. We have some of that very fine serrated jimping at the back of the thumb ramp. And we do have a finger choil right at the base of the blade, which also, you know, it's split halfway between the blade and halfway between the handle. And that is a liner lock. There's the lockup for those of you interested. And very comfortable. A little bit difficult. This is something I read. I already knew it was going to be like that. A little bit difficult to disengage the lock. There's not a lot of lock to grab onto. You can see it barely comes past the edge there, so there's not a lot to grab, and might take a little bit of breaking in to flick it all the way out. There we go. Really super smooth pivot. It's also a snug pivot, so it's pretty tight. It's not, you know, the blade's not flopping around. I might loosen that, I might not. And that one, this one is screw construction, torque screws at the pivot and along the body and clip. The blade's kind of cool how it juts way out of the handle. One thing I'm curious to find out over time is the, I know this is for, well, at least I've read that this portion, this part of the blade, this swedge that's kind of cut out of the spine, is supposed to be to lighten the blade. And at least that's what I've read. I'm not completely sure if that's true, but I do like how it gets real thick right at the tip of the blade. It's pretty cool. But we'll see how that goes over time as far as comfort. If I want to reach farther down on the blade, it gets pretty narrow, and I don't know if that's actually, you know, if that's reasonable for me to want to put my digits that much farther along on the blade, or if typically it'll sit back here when I'm cutting, but I'll find out and I'll let you know. So there you have it. That is the Jason Breed and Rescue. Again, these are from this one and the Mannix. These are both from cutleryshop. I think it's .com. Let me look at their little business card. Yep, cutleryshop.com. Really great guys. I've ordered from them before. These are the folks that I got my orange paramilitary 2 from. Great service, super fast shipping. You know, they packaged it with care, and they've got some great prices. And I think that the Jason Breeden was a really good price. So if either of these two designs interest you, I believe these are both still in stock. So zip on over to their website and check them out if you want to buy them. And then finally, we have again the. I need to get better at flicking that out. There is the Ontario Rat 1 folder. So those are my latest purchases. This one is heading off to my coworker. I'm going to hand that to him in the morning. He's going to be really excited to get his hands on that because he's just as eager to try this knife out as I am. There you go, 3 new knives. Expect reviews on all of these in probably the next few months because I've got so many new designs. I'm not really sure which ones to start tackling first, but I will definitely get to a review of each of these. And if these designs interest you, check out those websites and order them up. Thank you so much for watching this video and for coming along for the ride, and I'll come back at you soon with some new reviews and other videos. Talk to you soon. Bye.